Right. Can you confirm something? It's easier to work at training and put together a counter-attacking team, right? A team that would be very good, especially if you've got the right players, would be very good at counter-attacking team, and they've worked a lot on that at Spurs. It's much harder to put together a team that, when they have 65% of the ball, 75% of the ball, know exactly what to do with it, right? And again, this is not a criticism of Mourinho. It's easier to put together, and especially if it's more your DNA as a manager, than put together a very complicated, effective way of keeping the ball, patterns of play, etc. when you play in the opposition's half with a lot of the ball, right? This is harder to do.
That's a football truism. I mean, I think I could go and seriously debate that, but yeah, sure. I'll take that as a premise.
So in a way, it's normal that they struggle a bit because one, you can't switch it on straight like this on like, okay, today, 3 days after playing, after playing most of the season in a certain way, in a game of this quality and this, but height.
Here's the thing though, right? Most of the games that Spurs play aren't against Liverpool or Manchester City. They're against teams that will say, okay, fine, let's park the bus and you come beat us, Spurs. So I don't think Mourinho doesn't prepare for those situations like they had a lot of the ball in the second half after going a goal down. I think he does prepare for it, but I think we have to give credit to Leicester as well here.
Yeah. Of course.
Look, some key players for Spurs had really, really bad days, as often happens. This team is simply built a certain way. It's built a certain way. And, look.
And they struggle when they have the ball. They struggle when they have a lot of the ball.
And when they have a lot of the ball, I think the plan is you drop Kane so that, whoever your creative players are, have somebody else with good feet to dialogue with. Son cuts inside. You get the overlap from the fullbacks. When that doesn't happen, also because one of your fullbacks is missing as well, let's not forget that. Quality-wise, there's a big difference, right?
Yeah.
Then things become more difficult. But
it's the same for Leicester. Leicester when they have the ball, and we saw them this season.
I don't think we talked about this before, right? Leicester have been very good counterattacking this year, right? Because you have obviously Jamie Vardy and whatever, and they've struggled against teams who've left them the ball. But that's not a Rodgers thing. As you said before, Rodgers loves having the ball. He had 90% possession when he was at Celtic, and obviously before, going back to this whole death by possession thing. And I think he's got the quality players. Madison can play with the ball. He's not just a counter-attacker.
Yeah, but Vardy is fun.
You have Vardy, so you play to Vardy's strengths. Yeah. No. But they have that dimension as well. They have worse players overall than the top six, which is why they're not top six. But I think philosophically, Leicester are right in there. And what I wonder, give me a percentage chance. Can Leicester finish top four? Like, is it realistic this season?
I think it is. So they would have learned a lot from last year, of course, and it was very different to stop and then restart and etc. The Europa League could be an issue, really, because the squad is good and interesting and with a bit of depth, but I don't know how much it will take away from them to have to play Thursday night and Sunday, especially.
Well, that's the thing. At some point, he's going to have to make the decision. I think
sacrifice one
or the other. Yeah, right.
Maybe.
And it's a tough one to make because I think Brendan feels that over 2 legs in the Europa League, I don't think he's scared of anybody.
No, I agree completely.
But then equally, in the league, the higher
And you can just imagine the Soyuncu Fofana partnership as centre back. I think this potentially could be the best centre back pair that we have in the Premier League this season. Fofana has been incredible since day one. Even me, who knew him since he was 17, never expected him to be that good so quickly. And literally needed no time to adapt. The only time is when he dyed his hair blonde, they lost 2 in a row. He said, you know what, I'm going to go back to normal. Yeah. I was like, that's a good idea, son. Just play safe. But incredible. And just if Soyuncu comes back like the Soyuncu that he was last year, I'm like, wow, okay, so defensively, you're going to be so solid. And Didi is there, and hopefully he doesn't get injured again. And then I'm thinking, wow, they can go for this. If, like you said, the Europa League doesn't come in the way, if Vardy can score other goals than just penalties, because, he scored 11, 7 of them are penalties. But I'm like, okay, I would fancy them, even on a very weird season, to maybe go really and push Liverpool.
And of course, last time we had a season this weird, all they did was go and win the Premier League.
Exactly. So who knows?
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.